When older job seekers are interviewed, employers will often ask questions that focus on their experience, their adaptability, and also they'll ask questions on how that applicant thinks they fit the role. Well, in this video, what I want to do is I'm going to give you 5 interview questions that older job seekers might be asked when they're sitting in a job interview. I'm also going to give you what I think is a great way, the best way to respond to that question or those questions. That's all up next right here on Over 50 TV. Welcome back to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. Well, this video is all about looking for a job when you are over 50, and it's really about being prepared to answer 5 interview questions that you will more than likely be asked. They're more often going to be just woven into this list of questions that they've got written out in front of them, that HR manager or that hiring manager is already thinking they're going to ask you. But there are five questions. And what I want to do is really just dive into them. And we're going to start with question number 1. And that question is usually this: can you tell us about your extensive experience in this field and tell me how it aligns with the requirements of this position? When you're answering this question, an older job applicant should really focus on highlighting the relevance of their past experience and achievements to the specific requirements of that position they're applying for. And the specific requirements are always going to be in that help wanted ad. Wherever you saw the ad, my suggestion is to keep that ad in front of you so you are specifically answering those questions. And I'm always going to suggest that you practice the answer to this question. How have you kept your skills up to date in this rapidly changing industry? An older job applicant should look at that HR manager and emphasize their commitment to continuous learning and professional development. You probably have heard this suggestion at or in other instances, but I can't emphasize it enough that you should emphasize your commitment to continuous learning and professional development. You're going to want to highlight the relevant training and education that specifically applies to this position. You're also going to showcase your technological, what I'll call proficiency with relevant technologies, or maybe tools, common software that are used in your industry. Express your genuine interest in staying abreast of industry trends. I find in businesses that I've owned, when I'm hiring somebody, I want to hear that. I want to hear that they're on top of stuff. They're on top of it, and they're on top of their game. This role may involve working with individuals from diverse backgrounds and age groups. How do you approach collaboration and communication in such an environment? Now, if I'm sitting across from an HR manager and they ask me that question, the first thing I'm thinking is maybe they're wondering if I'm too old, if I could fit in, how I'm going to fit in. So I'm going to look them in the eye and I'm going to answer this question that older job seekers are going to get. And I'm going to emphasize my ability to work effectively with individuals from all backgrounds, from various backgrounds and age groups. Now, I'm going to give you an example, and I'd say something like this. Throughout my career, I've had the privilege of collaborating with diverse teams and individuals, and I've always embraced the opportunity to learn from different perspectives. Now, one example that comes to mind is, and then I'll give them an example. Overall, I'm deeply committed to fostering diversity and inclusion in the workplace, and I'm eager to contribute to creating an environment where everyone feels empowered to bring their unique perspectives to the table. You can take that answer and you can take it and you can condense it. Maybe you're going to use 2 or 3 sentences, but that answer really does cover what I think are key elements in that question. What motivated you to apply for this position, and what aspects of it particularly appeal to you? Now, this is a question that could be asked really of just about anyone. But I think when it's asked to somebody who is older, somebody who's over 50 years old, I think you really want to be transparent. If you're there and you're trying to fake it so you make it, you know what? You may not make it. So, you got to give an honest answer with this. And here's what I know this. An older job seeker, should focus on highlighting their genuine interest in the role and in that company, as well as highlighting your skills and your experience and telling that HR person how your experience and skills align with the job's responsibilities and the organization's goals. Now, I'm also going to suggest this. Communicate your interest in building a long-term relationship with the company. And I think it's important. Some folks will say, well, they don't expect us to stay that long. They don't expect employees to stay long anymore. But you know what? I'd still communicate your desire to make it a long-term commitment. How do you envision leveraging your experience and your expertise to drive the success of our business? And this is question number 5. And I've interviewed hundreds of folks. I'd say hundreds and hundreds, and mainly I'm saying that because I've actually hired hundreds of folks at my businesses, at my companies. And some version of this question is always going to be asked, or I should say most always going to be asked. If you're an older job seeker, here's what or how I suggest you answer it. Well, I've had the privilege of accumulating a wealth of experience and expertise throughout my career. And I believe that these assets uniquely position me to contribute to the success and the innovation within XYZ company. Now, one area where I feel particularly confident is in developing marketing campaigns. In my previous roles, I had the opportunity to help the organization increase sales 5-fold. For instance, we developed a marketing campaign for our welding machines that won national awards. And I believe that my ability to be an integral part of that team, I believe that my ability played a key role in the success of that project, that exciting project. So overall, yeah, I'm excited about this opportunity to leverage my experience and my expertise to make a meaningful impact here at XYZ Company. And I'm ready to hit the ground running and contribute to this company's success in any way that I can. Now, that's a way to answer that question, and by no stretch of the imagination am I suggesting that you memorize those 2 or 3 paragraphs and recite them verbatim. I'm not suggesting that at all, but I'm suggesting that you take elements from that answer and use those in your response when you sit down with that HR or the hiring manager. Well, there you go, my friends. I've just told you about 5 questions that you are likely to hear in a job interview. If you are somebody who is older, if you're over 50, you're likely to hear these questions. Now, if you do have a question for me, you are welcome to send me or make a comment in the comment box, email me a question. You're welcome to do that. I usually get back to folks within a couple days. Sometimes it's a bit longer, but I always get back. I want to answer all of your questions. I want to help as best as I can. Also, before I forget, subscribe to this channel if you felt you got value. Also, give me a thumbs up. I do have a second channel called Side Hustle Rules. If you're somebody who is interested in starting a side hustle, you might want to hop over there and watch some of those videos too. You can also subscribe to that channel. Well, as I said, that is all I've got for you. As I always say, have a great day, everybody.